Welcome back, everyone, to the Bitcoin Business Bureau. I'm your host, as always, LitecoinLeader. I just wanted to go over a few things today and give some perspective. I know there's a lot of speculation that's going on out there where things are heading, and there's lots of videos out there that say like Bitcoin's going to go up, Bitcoin's going to go down, all these different positive or negative stories out there. Yes, we had Voyager that went under. That happened this week. It's a fact. It's a negative. But as I said in earlier videos this week, that those sorts of things happen when you're rapidly developing. You will have companies go under. We did a lot of videos yesterday and again this morning. Wednesday and Thursday morning are very busy for me. We did our AMA for CryptoConfidential last night, and then we did a follow-on video, which I'm going to be working on after this and getting it up on Patreon probably later tonight or tomorrow. It was a great roundtable. I think, let's see, we had Divvy Daddy, we had Papa Joe, we had Open-Minded Bitcoin, we had Bitcoin Country, and oh, great, I'm missing one. That person's going to kill me because I can't remember who it was. Joanna, of course, Joanna. So, and we were talking about how this big picture, and there's some facts shared, but there's also speculation because we're all trying to connect the dots, and that's human nature. We all try to put things together. There are events that are happening in the world that some people, we're talking about, and let me see. We talked about the Georgia Guidestones, and we talked extensively on it, and to the point where we have to put that behind the paywall because we can't share that on the normal YouTube channel. But I wanted to share a few things today to give perspective of I've talked before many times about I have 3 buckets of information. Things I know they're completely facts. That's bucket 1. Bucket 3 is complete speculation. It could be a wild theory. It could be whatever theory you want to talk about. I won't say the C word. Sure, I'll say it. Conspiracy theories that are out there. Probably not true, but then again, some of them do come true. And then they move from bucket 3 to bucket 2 to bucket 1. Bucket 2 is things that are in between. Could be factual. There's starting to be evidence. It's not 100% fact yet, but things are starting to look that way. And that's where I want to talk about Bitcoin adoption today and cryptocurrency adoption in those same 3 buckets. I want to talk about the facts. I want to talk about where we are today. And of course, the speculation. The speculation is, when is Bitcoin going to go up or down, or what is the long-term what's the price going to do? But the long-term perspective, everything points towards Bitcoin going up, but there's every major indicator is not matching what the behavior has been for Bitcoin. Everything, like the rainbow chart, says the Bitcoin should be going up. The hash rate has never been higher. The adoption rate, the number of Bitcoin held off of central exchanges, has never been higher. All these multiple signs saying Bitcoin should be going up, should be hitting $100,000, but it's not. So we move to speculation as to why. But today I want to focus on 3 stories that have happened all within the last year that are strong evidence that, hey, this is not going to go anywhere. So let me share my screen and let's go over some of the stories that are definite facts. So first story, which most everyone has heard about by now. Most people in crypto have heard that, El Salvador adopts Bitcoin as a legal tender and currency. But I want to point out something that we need to take note of. This was the date, okay? It was published on September 7th. So less than a year ago, El Salvador made this announcement. Since that time, okay, we've had the Central African Republic that adopted it, and we have many other countries considering it, including 44 countries that met with El Salvador. Let's see, what's the date here? May 15th, El Salvador President Nayib Bukele announced 32 central bankers and 12 financial authorities from 44 countries would meet this country for an event about achieving financial inclusion and banking the unbanked through Bitcoin's digital economy. So if you want to talk about adoption of Bitcoin, this is a fact. In May, 44 countries went to El Salvador. Representatives of 44 countries went to El Salvador and explored the possibility of adding Bitcoin. And these are mostly, these are not first world, or the classic definition of first world countries or G20 countries. They are all South American, or African, or smaller countries from Asia. But they were exploring it. They're all exploring it. And here's the third story I wanted to share, just to give you perspective. So this happened, I think, last week. Check the date. Yeah, 1 week ago. The Bank for International Settlements. And that's something that we did talk about on Patreon last night. And we explored it much further. But I will just give the highlights. The Bank for International Settlements is allowing banks to keep 1% of its reserves in Bitcoin. Now, defining what the reserves are and defining how much that 1% represents, it's probably more than the entire market share of cryptocurrency, which is about $1.5 trillion today. I think the peak was 2 trillion. But to give you perspective, that is, gold is 10 trillion. Let me drop out of this view. So just some perspective, the world market is $10 trillion for gold. So all of crypto is not even 20% of the market share of gold and the value of gold across the world. And that's considered the best form of money we've ever had for the last 5,000 years. So for banks now to be dipping in and say, oh, it's only 1%. Well, I remember several years ago where some people said no one should not put any money into Bitcoin. And then CNBC started to say, I know Pompliano said that you should have some exposure. Some other people started to say, oh, maybe 1%. And then it got to be 2%, 5%, 10%. Some are going even harder than that. And we know where Michael Saylor and MicroStrategies is at. And we've seen stories now that Michael Saylor is buying the dip. El Salvador is buying the dip. They're all buying into more and more Bitcoin because they see it as the path forward. So back to the bucket theory. We had a lot of speculation about global adoption. Now we're all the way to bucket 1. El Salvador is there. 44 countries are meeting. Central African Republic is already there. Michael Saylor is already there. A lot of the people on CNBC are already there. Mr. Wonderful Kevin Leary is already there, and not just with Bitcoin either. I'm speaking a lot of Bitcoin because most stories for global adoption focus on Bitcoin because it is the leading brand. It's 40% of the entire crypto market. It's as Bitcoin goes, so does the rest of the market. But Kevin O'Leary and other people are already pushing forth with other altcoins, Matic, Polygon, Cardano, you name them, Polkadot. We all know the big players, but the adoption is coming. They're all coming to it. And even with the explosion of NFTs, and we see stories on NFTs, we used to see a ton of them last year, kind of calmed down now. But even Snoop Dogg and I think Justin Bieber and a bunch of other celebrities are still getting involved in the space to show that crypto's not going anywhere. So I would welcome you as we head to the weekend and we take a step back, just get some perspective, and don't worry about what the price of Bitcoin is going to do today, tomorrow, over the weekend. Think long term. Okay, the Bitcoin has a natural 4-year cycle because every 4 years they cut the supply in half, or the production of supply. So I think we're at 6.25 now per every 10 minutes, or about 900 Bitcoin a day. It'll be 450 a day in 2 years. So it's just going to be less and less, and that supply is dwindling. So for whatever reason, the price is lower than we expected now. We went from in the 60,000s down to the 20,000 level, and it's a great acquisition price. And I know a lot of people are strapped for cash or strapped for dry powder, liquidity, however you want to say it. But if you could jump in now or get people to adopt now, this is when people should be getting in. But every time we have a pullback, or if this has been a death by 1,000 cuts, kind of slow pullback from 60,000 to 20,000. Took about 6 months to get here, and no one wants to jump in. But if I had told you when something was $60,000 that I could tell you how to buy it for 20,000, just wait 6 months, you would have said, okay, I will do that. But the pain that we experience on a daily basis of watching the investments go down, down, down hurts. And it hurts our mentality, hurts our psychology, and affects us. But if you step back and just say, if your future self could go back and tell your past self and say, wait 6 months and you could buy 3 times as much, you would do it. So keep that in mind. Embrace the things that are on sale now. And Bitcoin's on sale. It's 2/3 off. Other tokens are 80 to 90% off of where their all-time high were. Just do your own research, find good projects, join a group, join, if you don't know which ones are good, you can get an appointment with me on Calendly or join my Patreon or join CryptoConfidential. And we will tell you, not financial advice, but what projects are, how to go find a good project. And also what projects that we like for this year, and also why. We're not just going to tell you, go buy these 10 coins. That's not what we do. We tell you, here's how we derive that list of coins that we liked for this year. and that's available. And that's so you can use that same, you can apply that same knowledge base, the same thought process to find your own set of coins. You may find the same ones, or you may find a different answers. But just embrace the sale, embrace the fact that we've moved a lot of things from speculation to realization. And like we have 45 countries that are considering it, if not more. And we have countries that are probably doing cryptocurrency settlements for oil or other commodities that are just not publicized. So keep all that in mind, keep their perspective, take a breather, relax, don't invest. What do they say? How they phrase it? Invest with your head, not over it. So know that this is not an overnight get rich quick scheme. That's not what the cryptocurrency and Bitcoin are all about. This is a protect your wealth. Your money grows over time, and 3 to 5 to 7 years from now, you're going to be very happy with your investments, knowing that you could buy it on sale now, and you'll be probably 6 months from now. You say, "I wish I had bought more when it was on sale." So keep all that in mind. Check out my social stuff and all stuff on this ticker. And also check out the description for some valuable links. Go to LitecoinLeader.com, get some free stuff there, and just subscribe, like, and share the videos like this. I know a lot of people are they're overwhelmed. They're just stressed out. They don't want to watch videos like this. That's why I'm trying to keep a positive air about things. So keep that long-term perspective, relax. It's coming. It's just going to take longer than you may. It's going to take longer than you really want it to take, because nothing ever happens on the timeline that we want. Just know that it's coming. We have lots of evidence to say that it's coming. We just don't know when, but it's going to come. So just relax, be smart with how you invest, and not financial advice, but consider all these things that I mentioned earlier, and just look for the bigger picture, and look for keep that long-term perspective. That'll help you when your short-term perspective, and it causes you to get into a panic or just to get your emotions get involved. Try to check your emotions at the door and be smart about how you invest in whatever you choose to invest in. So, lots said today. I'm going to close the door on the bureau, say follow leader one more time. I will talk to you soon. Take care.